Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from group 4P3 and our group video is about the needs and requirement of Muslim travelers and tourists.
What is Muslim-friendly tourism? The halal tourism, or easier to be called as a Muslim-friendly tourism, is a vacation that following Sharia law, which means all of the vacation's activity is Sharia compliant from the accommodation to the activity.
For the concept of Islamic tourism, according to Al-Quran and As-Sunnah, Islam prohibited Muslims to visit places that related with corruption, where alcohol is consumed, and immorality places such as nightclub, festival, parties, and others. However, Islam never prohibited Muslims to travel, even encouraging those who want to travel. Allah has mentioned in Al-Quran in Surah Al-Ankabut verse 20, which the meaning is, "Say, O Muhammad, travel through the land and observe how He began creation. Then Allah will produce final creation. Indeed, Allah over all things is competent." From the verse just now, we can tell that Allah encouraged Muslims to observe what He has created by travel all over the world. It is to learn, for humans to learn how to appreciate and feel blessed with what they have right now. Allah's creation are very wide and beautiful, and we as a human, we need to open our mind and hear the nature to seek experiences by traveling. Besides, by traveling, we can learn a lot of things. For example, we can learn from the histories of people before us. There are many lessons that we can learn from them, such as not repeating the mistake that they have done. For example, when we visit Yordania, we can flash back to the story where the people of Prophet Lut were punished by Allah as they commit adultery in same gender. Furthermore, Islam has outlined a law for Muslims to follow. For example, during traveling, Prophet Muhammad SAW has mentioned that no woman should travel except with mahram, and no man should enter upon her unless a mahram of her is present. Women and men without any valid relationship are prohibited to travel together, as it will become slander and it will lead to zina. Therefore, the purpose of travel should be clear in addition to calm the mind and resting. Human can enjoy as long as it follow the Sharia law, and we should be grateful for the greatness of Allah's incomparable creation.
Nowadays, people love to travel to see new things and to experience the culture in other countries. We as a Muslim need to beware and take care of ourselves in other countries. Before traveling, Muslim travelers and tourists need to get a checklist of what they need to have, good to have, and also nice to have. So, this is the needs and requirement of Muslim travelers and tourists. The first one is halal and Muslim-friendly hotel. The second one is application to search halal food and malls. Third one is halal holiday. And the last one is no non-halal activities. First, halal and Muslim-friendly hotel. The halal and Muslim-friendly hotel means that the hotel have an Islamic characteristics that can provide basic facilities toward Muslim travelers, such as Qibla direction indicator, the availability of prayer equipment, the presence of halal food, the absence of alcohol in the hotel area, and also there is a mosque in the hotel area. Second, application to search halal food and mosques. Nowadays, the travelers can directly use the apps rather than searching on the internet. For instance, Zabiha apps. Zabiha apps is the world's largest guide to halal restaurants, markets, and also mosques. The app feeders a large database of halal restaurants generated by its users. So, with this app, it makes it easier for tourists. The third one is halal holiday. Halal holiday can be defined as a travel package in the tourist industry which is provided full holiday service in accordance with Islamic belief and practice. This includes all the halal resorts and hotels which do not serve any alcohol and serve only halal foods. The last one is no non-halal activities. As Muslim travelers and tourists, we want to avoid negative culture during the travel. If possible, there are no non-halal activities during traveling, either in the hotel or so on. No non-halal activity means that there is no alcoholic beverage, having a nightclubs and more.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Nikmah binti Jahari. So today I would like to present about impact to Malaysia's tourism industry. As we all know, tourism industry in Malaysia has their goal in either to increase the number of foreign tourists and increase Malaysia tourism revenue. So, there are some positive impact that we want to describe, such as economic, social, and environmental impact. Okay, first is economy. Economy is one of the positive impact in Malaysia tourism industry. It is because of they are promoting Malaysia as an outstanding tourist destination. This will make economy in Malaysia grow and improve in order to increase Malaysia tourism revenue, investment, development, and infrastructure. For example, impact of tourism industry in Malaysia is they contributed and increased job opportunities for the community. Okay, second is social. Malaysia's special culture will be exported to the outside world, and they consider to have a community of different ethnic groups such as Malay, Chinese, Indian, Kadazan, Iban, and others. Every race in our country has its own tradition and way of eating, which can draw international visitors. Outgoing visitors will have the chance to see local art show such as wayang kulit and kuda kepang, and still more to hear about traditional games and costume. Okay, lastly is environment. Environmental protection is also important in tourism industry in Malaysia. It is important to foster environmental protection through pollution prevention and control initiative and to enhance the health of the environment. For example, there are places that have beach. They need to make sure that the beach they go are always in a clean and not contaminated with air pollution. Okay, next is negative impact. As we all know, the outbreak of COVID-19 posed a big danger to visit Malaysia 2020 as 50% of nation's visitors originate in Singapore and China. Rising cases of COVID-19 in both countries have resulted in the cancellation of several trips, which has also contributed to a significant decrease in the number of visitors to Malaysia. There are two negative impacts that happen due to COVID-19, which is airline and hotel business. For airline, it is happened because of the pandemic COVID-19. Airline industry have pointed out that the latest immigration policies and the falling market around the world put the huge deficit airline at risk of bankrupt. All three big Malaysian airlines such as AirAsia, Malindo Air, and Malaysia Airlines have made salary cuts increasing from 10% to 100% and unpaid leave based on the salary level and role of the airline. Therefore, because of this pandemic, it will make all the foreigners are not legally allowed to visit the country. Okay, last is hotel business. A total of hotel room booking during the period 11 January to 2020 until 16 March 2020 had been cancelled. The loss was directly attributable to the outbreak of COVID-19. In addition, we as a community must follow 3W, the basic steps such as wash hand, wear mask and warn everyone for prevent the outbreak of COVID-19. And as a Muslim, we must take care of ourselves and follow the SOP so that we can ease the pressure of the country.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Aiftul Shazwani binti Saimin and I will talk about the challenges and opportunities of Islamic tourism. So I list down both in 3 points. For the challenges, first one, to apply in Islamic tourism, some of the country or perhaps company need to adhere to the non-Muslim tourists without disturbing or crush the Islamic laws. Standardization is necessary to evaluate halal tourism, but it isolates Muslim as halal tourism using words such as Muslim-friendly or other. Since the absence of such characteristics would not draw non-Muslim travelers to destinations, the problem is to deal with non-Muslim visitors without disturbing any of the Sharia principles. It is also essential for both Muslims and non-Muslims to provide a balance of catering. Second, discrimination occurs in certain countries. I found an article that shared a story about a woman from Indonesia who on the way to London, but then her journey being blocked, like so sudden when the airport employees ordered her to take off her hijab if she wanted to continue flight to London. But the thing that caused the anger was when the woman was instructed to take off her hijab, she saw a nun allowed to enter the waiting room. So this kind of thing really triggered our emotions as a Muslim and somehow make us really need to think multiple times that do we need to go to the places where the people will act like this? So to be shortened, it somehow frightened us and also make us angry whenever we think about it, and it's indeed a horrible thing that could happen in a Muslim life. So the third challenge, proposition to set up halal tourism industry. Despite the development of halal industry is highly increased around the world, there are also some part of the world still does not have any awareness about the halal tourism. For example, there is a place that called Akita Prefecture stated in Japan that still have a weak information and infrastructure about the halal tourism industry. So after lots of research, lack of funding from manufacturers to provide halal ingredients, and lack of expertise to provide solutions to halal problems, make the company hard to get the halal certificate. As there is minimal demand for halal food, coping with it is not a priority for hotels. Some hotels, however, are capable of meeting the demand of their guests by checking the data on the internet themselves and asking the workers who have been employed in Muslim majority countries. As the staff are very educated about Islam, these hotels are found really resourceful. So we're done with the challenges and now we will jump into the opportunities. So here we go. The first one is with running a Muslim tourism industry, it can help in driving the economics and social development. So according to one of the article that I read where it can be the evidence for this point is, at that moment the Minister of Tourism and Culture said while in the opening ceremony of International Muslim Friendly Carnival in Sempurna, Sabah on 2019 is, for the world tourism sector it can be a game changer when providing jobs and business prospects for locals. Countries that are not members of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation (OIC), such as UK, South Korea and Japan, are also actively establishing Muslim-friendly infrastructure and amenities, he said, also acknowledging the progress. This entails offering restaurants with halal food to draw more Muslim visitors to visit their country. Malaysia should therefore be proud and must redouble its efforts in that direction, he added. So the next one, the tourists can learn about the Islamic culture plus the country's culture that the particular country are doing every time. For example, in Malaysia, Malaysia seems to have the opportunity to provide packages distinct from those provided by other Islamic countries, where visitors can see and obtain experience by experiencing the culture of the Muslim community of the country celebrating Ramadan, iftar opportunities, breaking fast, and participating in festival preparation such as Hari Raya Haji and Hari Raya Puasa. All these are some of the items that this country will draw Muslim tourists to visit. So the last one, significantly, Muslim tourism automatically opens up enormous job opportunities for everyone around the world, especially for fresh graduates. In the Islamic tourism sector, job openings are completely open to all graduates from various fields, as long as they are willing to equip themselves with industry-appropriate expertise and skills. Business opportunities also are fully open in tourism development through navigation, which will be the latest and extremely likely trend in Malaysia, particularly tourism such as Islamic navigation. So I think that's all from me. Have a nice day ahead. Thank you.
Lastly, I will present the result of a survey that we have conducted. There are 65 students voluntarily participated to fill in the form of the survey. From that total, 52 students are female and 13 students are male. Both genders show different perspectives about the needs, requirements, and context of Muslim-friendly tourism as a Muslim tourist or traveler. As you can see here, figure 1 and 2 shows that the students were ready to travel, and some of them are traveling when there are occasional purposes. This due to the restriction from parents, as they are still under the parents' responsibilities. Besides, male students prefer staying at home than traveling because most guys love to play games and do sport activities with their friends. Next, figure 3 shows that students travel with their family the most. This is because family usually travel to visit their relatives. Besides that, students also prefer to travel with their friends because friends are comfortable partners for a trip. Regardless, few students enjoy traveling alone as they enjoy their own company. In addition, few students travel often with their colleagues for certain purposes, whether it is a field trip study or just a random trip. Figure 4 shows a reason for what the students travel for, which is their purpose. Almost all students travel for leisure. Some travel because of a family vacation, some love adventures, and there are few travels for business purposes. Students spend their free time traveling during their semester break only. Moreover, some students also do money saving during their semester so that they can go for a short trip holiday after or at the end of the semester. In addition, there are some students do a part-time business that they sometimes follow their family to travel for a work purpose. Next, in figure 5 shows a result of what students will research on planning a trip. The results shown that sightseeing places and popular foods and beverages are on the top list of what they seek during a trip. Students love to see and visit popular yet interesting places that tourists usually visit. On top of that, popular foods and beverages, or widely known as food hunting, are one of the reasons why students want to travel. Besides that, students nowadays love trendy places because they love to take a picture and post it on social media. Next, students are also so interested in traveling to visit Islamic heritage places. Lastly, students are also interested to try traditional meals that certain places has to offer. In figure 6 shows that 65% of students understand what is Muslim-friendly tourism means. However, there are also some students that have mixed feelings about what is Muslim-friendly tourism. This shows that they are not sure and unclear about what Muslim tourism means. It is proven in the figure 6 that there are still some students that do not know and understand the concept of Muslim-friendly tourism. Moving on to the next, figure 7 shows that almost all students are willing to search for another hotel that does not involve with haram activities. Students rather spend their money on a hotel that does not provide clubs or casinos because they feel uncomfortable staying at a hotel that involves with haram activities. However, it shows that some students also do not mind staying at the hotel because they only need a place to stay as long as they can relax, sleep, and does not involve with the haram activities. Lastly, figure 8 shows that 74% of students agree with a hotel that provides 2 segregation kitchens for halal and non-halal dishes as a Muslim-friendly hotel. The reasons are mainly because the management of hotels is thoughtful and concerned with Muslim needs. Despite that, few students did not agree with the concept because they feel that it is better for the hotel to only serve halal foods for consumers to avoid confusion between consumers and preventing contamination that is likely to occur even though the kitchen is separated.